Good morning, everyone. Today is the 12th of August, Wednesday. This is Brad Matheny. We're looking at an SPX 500 chart. Wanted to let you know that we are still above the defense level, holding up, looking for that breakaway rally move. I still believe that possibly CPI, which is coming out in just a few minutes right now. Let me check, see if it's come out. Has come out. CPI is out. Came in strong, just under expectations. Excuse me, forecast right at expectations. And overall, we don't have anything really weak today. I believe that overall, the markets are going to be moving generally to the upside. So remember, I had highlighted this chart with you over the weekend, indicating that we're likely going to move up into this target area of 820, 825, 824 on the SPY. So we're looking at a move right now that I believe is taking place from this low up to this high roughly. We'll get a bit of a pullback, and then we'll get another rally here from roughly this low up to this high. And that's kind of where we're at right now. We're playing out the middle of this rally, very likely moving into what I would call a pause period right now on the SPY, moving up, pausing, and then moving up the rest of the way. So I think this week and into next week, we're going to get into a very big rally phase. I think you're going to have to be prepared for this to try to get this moving. Try to change this one to blue, and then get rid of this one that I just drew. And understand that, like I said, it's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before we get into a big rally phase. We're still above the defense level. We're still rolling through bullish trending. We've stalled a little bit this week because of news with Iran. KD shared some news. I expected the markets to stay very flat until roughly today and tomorrow, and then start to melt upward. You can see that the SPX 500 is up already almost 0.35, 0.36 to the upside. I think we're moving into a melt up trend here that's going to likely push up into that 820 area, which would basically be up into this area here. And again, it may seem like a lot, but in reality, it's only about a 6% move. So figure, 1.5% days on average, potentially on bigger bars. We could be looking at this move up into 820 by end of next week, middle of next week. Okay, so that's where we're at with the SPY. We are looking at a inside breakaway pattern in trend mode. I believe this will be to the bullish side. Then we move into a Harabi pattern tomorrow, then an inside breakaway, then a rally on Sunday, and a carryover on Monday. So again, we have quite a bit. I think I shared it to you over here, or possibly over here. No, must have been back here on the SPY. Yeah, I shared the bars of what I kind of expected. Yesterday's bar didn't turn out bullish like I expected, but I believe we're going to be moving higher. You can see we're already gapping upward, 0.35%. So again, I think we're just melting up into this move, this 792, 796 area by middle early of next week. We'll see how it moves. Okay, we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, an inside breakaway is likely going to be a pretty good move to the upside. Okay, we'll come over here to gold and silver. Gold and silver are pushing higher again, up near that upper potential flag level. You can see it here with the blue level I share. So we're looking at potentially a pullback in gold. I would suggest that we're looking at potentially a move from here down to this potential low of about 2%, about 90 bucks in gold to the downside. I don't believe we're going to get a big breakaway here. The cycle pattern right now for gold is a crush pattern. Could be a very big bar to the downside. Let's see how it plays out. Then we have a gap potential, then a counter trend, gap 22 potential. So like I said, I am expecting gold and silver to move from this upper area down to this lower area fairly aggressively over the next 12 to 24 hours. Then we'll move into a little rally if this flag sets up, and move into a base again before we base and bottom back out of it. So now, where is this flag? This is my presumed flag. I don't know where exactly this is where it's going to be. I'm assuming this is going to be the case. We'll see if it plays out. But again, I would be fairly cautious right now in gold through this flagging pattern. It looks like it's going to take, moving all the way out into Monday, the 17th, or Tuesday, the 18th, before we reach the apex, if this is correct. So the gold cycle pattern for today is a crush pattern, could be a very big downside move. Pay attention. We could get a move directly down into the support level around 43.80. Same thing with silver, potentially moving down here to 63.86 roughly. Okay, come over here to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 500 bucks. Oops, wrong chart. Bitcoin is flagging, like I mentioned to you. I'll come back over here. This is where I think I have a better, yeah. And again, we are flagging out. We are moving sideways through this channel. As I mentioned to you yesterday, we could continue to churn through this level, but eventually we are going to break out. We are going to move to the upside, I believe. I believe it's going to potentially move in this manner, up into this area, running into resistance around 72,000, pausing and then rallying again. These are our target levels here. I'll drag them over. And this is the breakout that I believe is pending. So we are churning, and we do not yet have any big breakaway move in Bitcoin. Right now, we have a blank pattern, then a blank pattern tomorrow, then a counter trend gap potential. Finally, we get into a breakaway move and momentum rally next week. So remember, we've got about 7 to 10 days before we're going to get into a big rally phase here. So that means we could easily churn over here before we get into some breakaway move. Okay. We could churn 4 or 5 days easy, 6, 7 days before we get into a breakaway move. So prepare for, rotation in this area, stalling near this lower defense level before we try to break away. I think it's going to break away. I think it's just going to be a matter of time. Give it about 5, 6 days. I think it's going to start to look really bullish. Okay, and then lastly, we'll come over here to UNG. UNG is again weakening back down below 1020, currently up at 1030. So, we've got a pretty good opportunity here where we might get more basing and bottoming through here. Remember, I think we're rolling into a pretty deep base and bottom in UNG. I think long term we might have some really good opportunity to the upside, but right now it's just kind of play it slow. And that's what I'm doing right now with my trades. I'm playing them kind of slow long term, let time work in my favor, and try to play the bullish melt up. So we have very strong, in my opinion, bullish trending. I think the data is going to be pretty strong to the upside. I think the markets are going to start to move. You can see SPY has already started to move a little bit, starting to inch a bit higher. Let me come over here to this chart, show you. The CPI data came out. We're starting to rally. Okay, we'll see what happens here. This is a 2 minute. This is a 5 minute. This is a 10 minute. This is a 30 minute. We've got basing and bottoming. We're starting to get a little bit of a rally here on the 2 minute. We'll see if that carries and extends pre-market. Would be nice if it did, and would be nice if we saw a nice little rally today. Okay, guys. I'm going to be on the road helping Dad again. I'm going to be on my phone most of the day, but I'll be available to chit chat and check in on the markets and see what's going on. Again, global markets are up pretty strong, so I think we're going to get a nice solid melt up rally today. All right, guys, go get some.